Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday morning to you. I hope that your morning is going well. My morning is going great. You know why? Because I have this to drink. Let me share with you about this right here. Yesterday's vlog, super short. So sorry. Life happens. That's all I filmed, but you will get what we did in the afternoon probably tomorrow's video. So we ended up doing that shopping, closed that video. Jaden and I did a meeting, came home, and then we worked in the garage all afternoon and all evening. It was a long day. We got a lot done. We're still working. We're going to do more today. Lots of work done in there, but it was cutting wood, which is pine, which I'm allergic to, and then Ruby was in there just wagging her tail and, you know, being Ruby as Ruby does, because that's her domain. And I'm just like not breathing well, sneezing, my eyes were just watering and dripping, and yeah, gross, all the good things. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm almost there. But came up, detoxed myself with a bath to wash all that stuff off, took some allergy medicine, went to sleep, woke up all congested, and it was not a good night. But I shut my alarms off, didn't even turn them on. I'm like, I'm just gonna sleep, and when I wake up, I will wake up. So I did. It was about 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm like, all right, that's okay. It's okay. We'll just do today how we can do. So, but then I woke up and got my blueberry coffee creamer with my Maverick blueberry coffee. Oh, and it was the greatest flavor ever. So go check your Walmart and see if they have the blueberry cobbler coffee creamer. Especially for those that like, I can't say I love blueberries. I do, but I don't like just eat them normally, but the flavor, so good. So I'm enjoying a nice warm cup. It tastes like a blueberry muffin. That's what it tastes like. So dream come true day. But with all that said, that was my day yesterday. So today is a whole new day. Today is going to be eating what I eat in a day, a 1970 edition, which is really fun. I've been enjoying doing these videos. The first few ones, I'm like, wow, we are in the kitchen so much. And then every decade that I was doing, it got less and less time in the kitchen. And even today, I'm like, there's not going to be a whole lot in the kitchen today. So I see the transition from like women constantly being home, doing all the stuff and making a lot of homemade meals. And then like where, you know, processed food came into play, and, you know, ready to make foods came to play. And then like moms were working, moms were busy, those kind of things where it took them more out of the home, took them more doing other things. Just the transition of how our society has gone. So I feel like today is going to be probably one of my kids' favorite. They didn't like love the other ones. Like me, myself, loved it. Loved the meatloaf, love all those foods, all the little salads, things we made. Yeah, I like that stuff, except for the Jell-O. Couldn't do that. But I'm like, today I feel like it's going to be my kids' day, and I'll share with you why. If you watched yesterday's vlog, you'll know why. So we're going to start making breakfast today. So what I would eat, 1970 edition. I was born in 76, so I would have been like toddler through this age, so I don't personally remember a lot of this stuff, but Google has a really good like explanation of things that they have for what people lived like in the 70s. Pretty cool. So breakfast was typical all through this time period, right? Like bacon, eggs, that kind of thing, spam, all those things, typical sit-down breakfast. Well, 70s came, and then the world of diets came into play. So I'm gonna say the fad diets. I think the Atkins diet came out then at that time, and then Richard Simmons popped up. Do you remember Richard Simmons? Like, I remember my mom doing Richard Simmons. Yeah, the exercise. I remember that. It probably would have been more the 80s. That time period came into play. So I remember those things. So diets were huge. So it was not so much about like eating the toast and the bacon and all those things, but different things came into play. There was one thing I saw that came in that people would eat, and it's called concentrate cereal. I'll put a picture right here. Concentrate cereal was branded as the cereal with the highest concentration of nutrients. It came out of the box looking like fish pellets and expanded as it soaked up the milk. They pulled it from the shelf in the late 70s. Interesting. And then reading different people's comments and forums about that, they said this was the greatest thing ever. It came in a little foil packet, and then you just filled your glass up with milk and you pour it in there, and it would just, and you put some sugar in there and eat it. I don't know. They canceled it at the end. I don't know. Maybe it was too good for you. So the 70s also brought out the sugar cereal craze. And what was good about it is, well, not good, is that they labeled it with like, you know, fortified with vitamins and minerals and vitamin C and all their daily allowances. So that was like the pull for it. But meanwhile, it's just a box of sugar cereal, but even though it had vitamin C in it, it seemed like a good thing, but actually it wasn't. And I remember I was looking at the list of cereal, Boo Berry, Count Chocula, and Frankenberry. Now I still remember being a kid, like we grew up having like, I mean, we still had food of the time period, white bread, all those things, but I do remember cereal. We didn't have a lot of sugar cereal. We would have, like, I remember eating cornflakes and Cheerios. That's kind of all I remember. I don't really remember the sugar stuff too much. And I remember going to the store when I was really young, like young elementary, and my dad was shopping. And I remember we were going through the cereal aisle, and he's like, "What kind of cereal does Mom get?" And I saw the Boo Berry one. It was the pink one. Yeah, Boo Berry. Maybe Frankenberry, I don't know. I thought it was the Boo one, it was pink. And I was like, "Oh yeah, Mom gets that cereal." He's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Mom gets that cereal." So he got that cereal and came home, and then my mom saw it and she was like, "No, no, 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 you know we don't eat that cereal for breakfast." And so I remember her making me take it out and feed it. We had birds and squirrels, feeding it to the birds outside. So I was outside shoving that cereal in my mouth, eating it. So that's all I remember from the Boo Berry cereal. But here, this would be the Boo Berry cereal equivalent, just fruit and sugar basically. It's not very healthy, but they had Cocoa Puffs. That was actually in the 60s in there. So Lucky Charms was the late 60s. So and Trix was 50s. Interesting. So sugar cereal came into play as like a healthy cereal, quick and easy. Kids got to eat it and go on the go with that thing. So breakfast was pretty simple. You could just have cereal like this, and then yogurt was also something that came out as something quick and healthier to eat. So, and then something else I noticed was the craze of crepes. Crepes came into play in the 70s as well, and so I thought, why don't I do crepes for breakfast? That'll be something different. Now they would do different things, not just for breakfast, but fill them with like creamed chicken, that kind of thing, different flavorings. It wasn't always like the sweet, fruity ones or sugary ones. It was like the savory ones as well. So we're gonna make the sweet ones for breakfast today. So I'm gonna make some crepes over here on my stove. Simple recipe, make them thin. I make them just a few times. My kids will have them, they go on kicks where they're like, "Oh, these are so great. Oh, they're not so great." So I've got that, and I've got some frozen strawberries and some whipped topping. I've got applesauce and I've got syrup. I thought I'll make different kinds of them, but it's gonna be easy. So we're gonna make some crepes for our 1970s breakfast. We're gonna enjoy it. This is a very simple, basic crepe recipe. I'm gonna put the recipe on the screen and just put it in the bowl, mix it up here, and then I've got some butter in my pan, melting, and then I'm just gonna turn it on. It's gonna be easy. Okay, you know how I feel about showing real life and how things go. So I'm gonna pour this in here. Real life, the first one I do, see how it goes. You know how the first one's a failure, but that's okay, that's real life. This is how it really works. You're not frustrated when you don't do it well the first time. It says about 1/4 cup, so. And then I'm pretty sure you just tilt it in the pan. It might even be a little less. I guess that's it. Let it cook for a few minutes and then we'll flip it over. I could probably put a little bit more in this one. And then I'm gonna get some wax paper sheets out so that you can kind of layer it on a wax paper sheet so they don't stick together. I'll let this cook for a minute. I'm gonna go with my wax paper. I think what's great about these is it doesn't require that much baking ingredients. They can make them really thin, and then you just stuff them full of things. So it'll be good. Okay, we're gonna flip this. All right, not bad for the first one. Actually, kind of shocked. I think you can cook it till it's brown, but I didn't. Not bad for the first one. Okay, I'm feeling good on this one. Doesn't mean the next one will go easy, but this will be good. All right, very happy with that first one. Well, that was not what I wanted. That's not what you wanted to do. Okay, failure on that one. Let's try that again. Don't tilt that much. There we go, much better. Looking up different filling ideas, you can do fresh berries or sliced fruit, jams and jellies, savory or sweet spread, soft cheeses, sauteed vegetables like spinach, onions, and mushrooms, whipped cream, nuts, chocolate, coconut, and fresh herbs. A whole lot of stuff you can add in there. So if you have bananas, I probably could do bananas and peanut butter. I just don't have any, I don't have any that, I didn't even get any bananas. I should have, but I didn't. But that's perfect. All right. Not bad. Just tilt it a little bit. My last ones I think I made before were real thick. These are really thin. Perfect. Okay, we're just gonna cook these up. Okay, I'm gonna make one more batch of that up because I feel like these are turning out really well and my kids will eat these. Okay, so if you hurry them, the crepes are not something to be rushed. If you hurry them, they're gonna break apart. I just broke that one apart. I broke the other one apart. So let them go slow and they will be fine. So the one that went bad the first time is because I tilted the pan too much. This next one I was like, oh, hurry up and flip it. No, don't hurry up and flip it. Crepes are slow cooking. They go fast, but not something to be rushed at all. So you're gonna see them, they're gonna bubble. I just added oil, so there's gonna be a little bit more bubbles in here. They're gonna bubble up. Little tiny bubbles all over, and then you're gonna flip them that way. Then you know they're done. And just for the record, Greg came out here with coffee, and he had his little chocolate caramel Willy Wonka kind, and remember, and he's like, that's not bad. And he's like, honey, I know your blueberry is way better. Blueberry coffee creamer. He even judged it was better. It's so good, I wanna have like another cup. I usually just do 2. It'd probably be really good iced too. Blueberry coffee. We are almost done. So these are real quick to make, and then we'll start working on some fillings. I'm not gonna do too many crazy fillings because I know my kids only like certain kinds, but these would be great. Look at just in between wax papers, so they don't stick. You don't have to do this. You can just do tiny, you can cut these sheets in half. I'm just using the big ones because it works easy for me. But see all the tiny holes on here? And then you know to flip. Perfect. So now I'm gonna do my fillings for mine. I'm just gonna do strawberries. I'm gonna take strawberries here. These are frozen. I kind of put them in the microwave for a few minutes. I'm gonna smash them down, put some sugar on them. That'll be a filling. And we've got whipped topping for one. Another one, I'm gonna do some syrup. So I'm just gonna heat that up so it's warm. And then I've got some applesauce. I'm gonna do a little applesauce and maybe a little bit of cinnamon sugar, just cinnamon on top. So I'm gonna just microwave these in tiny little bowls so they're warm, easy little fillings. those were super simple to make. Easy. So this one will be strawberry. You can put the whipped cream inside or on top. I did this. This one this was applesauce. I put a little bit of brown sugar in there to make it a little sweeter and then sprinkled some cinnamon on top. This is syrup with a little bit of brown sugar. It makes it thicker inside, just a little bit of powder. You can basically sugar, whatever you want for sugar. You can put healthier, you can do less. You can spread peanut butter in there and put chocolate chips in there. That's another way to make them, but just real simple crepes, just a fancy way. It's nice if you can do like sliced up fruit in there, like some nice strawberries inside there, maybe do a little strawberry sauce like I did, whatever you want to do. But this is typical with a single size serving of yogurt, because this was popular. I don't like yogurt, but I do like these. So 1970 breakfast, easy. All right, breakfast is done. I'm gonna move on to dessert right now because it takes a while. I'm going to try to redeem my bundt making ability. You know, I've tried to make a bundt pan the last few recipes and they failed. When I first got this, I made like a chocolate one, I made a pistachio one. Turned out beautiful, had zero problem. If you look back a long time ago when I bought this, probably last year. Well, then I made the strawberry one, totally failed, stuck. And then I made the chocolate ribbon one or whatever, and that just totally failed. So I'm going to try to take your suggestions. A lot of you said, I looked through all the comments, what you guys said, you said use Crisco, like the shortening in here, and flour it. So I'm going to do that first in my pan here, and then I'm going to make something that it's just popular, and again it's just changes everywhere, was pineapple Hawaiian type foods. Like pineapple chicken was big, anything like that, because it was like the new Hawaiian craze. But carrot and pineapple cake was big at this time. So I'm going to make a bundt pan of the carrot, basically it's carrot cake, that's all it is. I'm gonna get my Crisco out, it's basically shortening, do this and then flour it, and we're gonna pray and hope it works. So an easy way, I remember back in the day making a mixture of shortening and flour, beating it together like with my electric mixer, and then putting it in a container and then having a pastry brush to flour and grease things. That worked out really good. So, but if you don't, like, you can get a sandwich bag or a glove. I'm just using this. You can use this, or you can use a piece of wax paper to get it so it doesn't get on your hands. So then I'm gonna grease this really well. I'm hopefully you're not staring at me going, no, Amy, not that much grease. We're gonna grease it really well, all the little nooks and crannies. Maybe that's the problem. There's so many nooks and crannies in here. And then see if that helps avoid the sticking of the pan, because it just bums you out because you're like, you want it to be a beautiful cake, and then it sticks to it. So never good. So we're gonna grease this and flour it. All right, is this safe? Let me know if this is gonna be good. I don't know. It's not much on the sides, but we're gonna be hopeful. Okay, I know why we resorted to convenience packages, because you just get out one box of cake mix, put it in a bowl and add your eggs, oil, and water, and you're done. I had to like go get all my ingredients. So I had to go get like my flour, which is almost gone, my sugar is almost gone, so I had to get a big bag of this. And then oil, I'm gonna have to melt that. Then all my little stuff here, I'm gonna have to drain the canned pineapple. Over here, I'm like, my nuts need to be chopped up. I got to do carrots. So this is why the box cake mix came into be, because women got tired of gathering all their fragments. But I'm gonna be excited to make this. Steven he loves carrot cake actually. The oven's ready. I'm excited to make this because Steven really likes carrot cake. He loves carrot cake, and we don't have it often, and when we do, he's like I had it for his birthday, and he was, you know, you have so much sugar on your birthday, you don't really eat anything anyways, and he's like, no, I love it. So I'm excited to make it in the bundt can form. So what I'm gonna do real quick, I have these are chopped walnuts, they're pecans actually. I'm gonna add pecans to it. Can I do that? Or pecans? They're not very chopped, so I'm gonna make them smaller, put them back in this bag so I can put them in the freezer so I can add those today. Then I'm gonna do some carrots. I think I just need 1.5 cups. Or shredded carrot, not very much. So we're gonna do that first, get that part done. And actually, while that's going, pineapple has to drain. So I'm gonna get my strainer out and strain this out. Should have did this when I first got them to make it tinier, but that's okay. So I'll be using some of this today. Let's do the carrots. Perfect, it's 3 large carrots. That gives you need about 1.5 cups, so that's all you need. So I'm gonna mix all the ingredients in a bowl by hand. Cakes are different. If you wanna use them like where they're real fine consistency, use your mixer. It'll kind of beat it up faster, but I'm gonna do it by hand. It'll make it more coarser, which I think I'm gonna do for this cake. So either way, however you mix it, just mix it well. This smells delicious. Delicious. I don't like cream cheese. I know they put cream cheese on top. Cream cheese frosting. So this one's just the powdered sugar with the pineapple juice. So I'm thinking I'm gonna like this. And then like a bundt cake form. This smells so good. So we're gonna put it in the oven. It said about 50 minutes. The review said about 10 more minutes. So it's a little jiggly, but it does come out clean when you put the stick in. So we're gonna be hopeful it turns out, because I'd love to make this turn out good. Yay, okay, I'm gonna wash my dishes up because you know how I feel about dishes. Okay, so I washed my dishes up, cake is going, I'm gonna start. Lunch is gonna be simple. I'm gonna do something different for lunch. I actually went and decided to look up all the different snacks that came into being, the different treats, because typically it was the white bread with luncheon meat roll up in between, or peanut butter and jelly inside. That was typical lunch. And then salad bars came into being, like, because it was the health craze. So having a salad was a big thing. So I pulled out some of the things, and you saw in the video if you watched yesterday's, of the different things that came into being that I know like my kids would like. And I thought it would be fun just to put a little thing together for the favorite things that they would have for snacks and treats. So SpaghettiOs came into play. SpaghettiOs, anybody else have SpaghettiOs? I had SpaghettiOs growing up. Now it's funny because I have a few kids that love this. Absolutely love this. Like, we'd go to grandma's house, and I wouldn't buy it as a new mom because, you know, it's expensive, and making homemade meals was cheaper. So we go to grandma's and they take a can of SpaghettiOs home. So, but like my older ones would have liked SpaghettiOs. Now the younger ones, I don't think, like Autumn likes SpaghettiOs. She really likes SpaghettiOs, but I don't think like my other kids do, but I could be wrong. So we're going to have good old SpaghettiOs for lunch today. And then something else that came in was cheese can, the Easy Cheese. This was $4.52 at our Dollar General. I couldn't believe it. So this was fun with Ritz crackers. That was a fun little thing to come about. And then Pop Rocks. That was a really neat thing to come about in the 70s. And then Reese's Pieces peanut butter chocolate candies. These came into play. And as well as Hostess Ding Dongs. Anybody else remember Ding Dongs? Now I remember being a kid, and well, no, it was actually not a kid, I was a young mom, and then the Hostess was going to, you know, stop making these. So everybody was like hoarding Twinkies and everything, and then they stopped for a little while, and some other companies came about, made them, and now you can find a Hostess. So obviously they redeemed themselves and came back with their nice little treats. So I had Ding Dongs have been a while. It used to be in foil. They are individually wrapped cakes. They used to be in foil when I was a kid. Are they still in foil? I don't know. We're gonna see here when we open these up. No foil, they're wrapped in plastic. But do you remember the foil, how it was wrapped around super thin and super great? You open them up really carefully. Now they're in plastic, so good old Ding Dong. So those were fun, some of the fun treats, just different things that they came about. Something else that came along, it's called Mug-O Lunch, and it was by Betty Crocker. It was lunch in a mug. You added water, and then it made macaroni and cheese or noodles and gravy, basically ramen in a cup. That was a big thing. And also pizza spins. They're around, and it says they were pinwheel shaped snack, little pizza spins, interesting little thing. And then the Hunt's chocolate pudding, those came into being into that time. And then space food sticks. Remember space food? I remember in elementary school going to like different museums and stuff and getting space food, and that was like astronaut food, and that was really cool to have. So, and Toast-Its, which was basically like Pop-Tarts, was pretty cool at that time. Pop Rocks, Ding Dongs, we know all these things. And Nabisco Snack Mate Cheese. Oh yeah, these were on Ritz crackers with cheese in a can. It was Nabisco, same company. Cool Whip was in the late 60s, so they would put it on top of a lot of things. Hubba Bubba bubblegum. Like, I remember eating that. That was so good. TV dinners, which we did last month in the 60s. And Hamburger Helper was a huge, I could have done Hamburger Helper for lunch. I just knew my kids wouldn't eat it, so I thought SpaghettiOs would be a whole lot better to do. But Hamburger Helper was a big thing that came into play. McDonald's Happy Meal came into play too, and it had a burger, small fries, and a packet of cookies and a toy. Do you remember little McDonald's cookies? I do remember getting those as well. So those were fun, just different things that came out in the 70s for lunch. So I thought I'd put this together. I know my kids will eat this because they like all this stuff right here. We'll make a little nice little plate for them, and they're gonna enjoy eating it today. I know they will. Okay, so I had one of the crackers and cheese. Not bad. I could eat some of that. Not bad. Ding Dongs, it's been a while. Let me even see if I can remember the flavor. I used to do the cupcake things. I remember eating a lot of those. So let's see if these are still as good. They kind of remind me of the Swiss cake ones, which probably pretty much are the same thing, just rolled up. Not bad, King Dongs. Here you go. I like Reese's Pieces. Those are really delicious. And Pop Rock, I know what that tastes like. SpaghettiOs. I did a little taste on the spoon. I'm like, that's not too bad, but this was fun. Fun little fun lunch. The kids will enjoy eating it. I know this is gonna be like, yes, mom, food, food, food. They're gonna love this. So this would be our typical snacks kind of thing out of that era. Delicious. Let's go on to dinner. Okay, so now we're talking dinners for the 70s. So in the 60s, we had a lot of the Jello craze, Jello everything, right? And then fondue, that also transpired into the 70s as well. But the difference was there was more emphasis on health eating, like fresh fruit and vegetables. So you would come across salad bars would be huge, ranch and the green goddess dressing that came into be like as a, you know, healthier thing to eat. Pineapple chicken, because the Hawaiian culture was big, so a lot of pineapple based things like our pineapple cake over here. Quiche was popular back then too. Cheese balls, logs, those things. And if you were good, if it had like ham, chipped beef, or even pineapple added to it. Stuffed vegetables or meat, so stuffed little cucumbers, stuffed tomatoes, stuffed mushrooms, those kind of things were really neat to do. Having like one food item hold another food item was pretty cool. So casseroles, even though, you know, like TikTok and all the little fun, little quick videos now that you get those things that are real popular, but casseroles were a big staple back in the 70s because moms were busy working, so they could throw something together and eat it real quick, like the hamburger helper. Microwaves were also big. I remember going getting our first microwave. It was like the 80s, early 80s, but I do remember microwaves came to be, so a lot of the microwave things we talked about. Box cake was big. The Jello poke cake was big. Remember that? We poke holes in it and then the Jello would go through it. I do remember having that. I just chose the carrot cake over the poke cake this time. Manwich came around, and also grilled cheese with like your condensed soup, which we did the 60s one, so those were popular things as well. So one of my viewers suggested making the impossible cheeseburger pie. That's making a comeback now. A lot of people do it as well, but that was a big thing in the 70s, so I'm going to make that today. Really simple. Again, a casserole to go in the oven. So I've got my ground beef over here. You know, I cook my ground beef and freeze it. I don't know if they did that much in the 70s, probably not. So it's already got all the veggies and onions in it, so you would take normally an onion, put it in there. We're just gonna heat that up. Get that good. We're gonna layer it in 9x13, mix up some yummy ingredients, put it on top, and it's gonna bake it with the crust, and that'll be our impossible cheeseburger pie. That's gonna be our easy 1970s dinner. I'm like in the kitchen, it's not even taking that much time. Open a can, do this, real simple. I think the crepes were the longest things to make today, so getting easier and easier, doing things as women had more things going on, you know, juggling lifestyles, different work, and all those different things that came into play. It's a whole lot different the time that you spend in the kitchen. Okay, so I just stuck the big giant skewer into the cake. It's coming out clean. So this I'm gonna take out of the oven. We're gonna be so hopeful. I'm gonna let it sit for just a few minutes here. Not very long, and then we'll flip it over. I'm gonna do a real quick Google to see what's the best. Let it sit for a few minutes, how long to let it sit, and then see that. It says to let it sit for 15 minutes and then to flip it over on a cooling rack. So I'm gonna just put it on my little plate and we'll see how that goes. So I'm gonna make the impossible cheeseburger pie. So I'm gonna put my meat in the bottom of a 9x13 pan, put some mixed vegetables on top, and then you just mix up the Bisquick, milk, and eggs and cheese. I'm pretty sure it mixes it all together, right? So you actually bake it for a little bit and then sprinkle cheese on it after. So I'll just mix it up, put the recipe on the screen. So we're gonna bake that for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna sprinkle with cheese and bake it for 10 minutes longer until knife inserted comes out clean. So we'll see how the impossible cheeseburger pie comes. And the timer, Maxine, the timer is done for my cake, so we're gonna attempt a flip over. Okay, we're gonna try the cake. Wish me luck. It's a miracle. Oh yeah, look at that. Ta-da! Okay, not bad. There's literally a piece of carrot. That's so funny. Okay, miracle of the Lord, how that came out perfectly. Did you see that one little piece that came off? There was like a whole carrot in there. And all I did, it was this little piece right here. All I did was peel the piece off that stuck to the cake and put it in it. Not bad at all. So this is good. I'm gonna make my icing, which is just 1 cup of powdered sugar, and then whisk it into the pineapple juice right here. We're gonna pour it on, and it's done. So that's finished. This is almost done. It's going on the last minute. We're gonna add the cheese. It's easy, easy 70s cooking day. Okay, I added like all that pineapple liquid. That was a lot in there. I can guarantee it doesn't say to add, like, it doesn't even tell you how much. It's just the can of crushed pineapple with the juice. Hold on a second. Okay, I added a 20-ounce can of pineapple. You're only supposed to add an 8-ounce. That's why. That was a lot of extra liquid, so I added a lot more than a cup. So do an 8-ounce can of pineapple, not the 20. So this is going to be lots of thickness here. I'm just going to pour it on the cake. We'll let it sit, and then we'll save the rest for another delicious time. Now that right there is a bundt cake with a lot of frosting. Oh yeah, it's like filling the well of the cake. It'll be delicious. And then some. Very, very sweet. That is super, super filled. That's okay. You know, excess is always good. So this will be delicious. It looks delicious. I can't wait to cut into it. We'll let this sit for a little bit. And that's a lot of frosting, Amy. It's okay. That's what you do when you got too much. Just add. It's more like a cake with frosting. Frosting with the cake. Either one. So this beeped over here. I got to add my shredded cheese. It's 2 cups of shredded cheese in here, I'm pretty sure. Yes, 2 cups of shredded cheese. I'm going to sprinkle on top and bake it for another 10-15 minutes till it's done. Okay, that cheeseburger pie came out of the oven. Look at that. Like, I don't think I've ever made this before. I might have tried it, but I feel like I mixed the cheese into the casserole. But this looks really, really good. So I'm gonna plate it up. We'll try it and see how it works. And I'm also gonna serve this with a salad. My salad is gonna be a kale salad because that's what I'm eating right now. Kale salad wasn't popular. I believe that like the leafy, there was a restaurant somewhere, I don't know where, I think it was New York or something, where they started coming out with like the spring lettuce mixes where it was the leafy kind of stuff and then created the salad, and that was like, you know, a good thing to have. So, but we're gonna do kale. Just pretend it's the other kind of salad with ranch dressing on top of it. I'm gonna cut this, put on a plate. It's gonna be delicious. Nothing better than trying things on camera. So I feel like the kids have already come and gone, took their SpaghettiOs, took their spray can of cheese away today. They're like, oh yeah, they're loving life today. Even some of the older ones are like, ooh, I need to try it. Or they're not called cake dongs, ding dongs. So fun. All right, let me try the Impossible cheeseburger pie. It looks good, smells good. It'll be delicious, I'm sure. Okay, I guess the flavor would be like a cheeseburger, like a gooey cheeseburger. So not bad, delicious, easy. This is gonna be dinner tonight in the Maryon household. So I do wanna try a tiny piece of cake because I feel like that's delicious. And you know, it looks so great with all that frosting too. So let me cut a tiny little piece of that. Now when I cut it, all that icing came out of the middle. I feel like that's the ooey gooey tunnel of fudge cake, you know what I mean? But it's more like ooey gooey carrot cake. So this, it looks very moist, delicious. It's still warm, so I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. Delicious. Delicious, delicious all around. So great fun making 1970s food. Easy. Like, I feel like when I do the 80s, I'm not even gonna spend time in the kitchen. I'll probably just go to McDonald's and get food. Easy food. Delicious, yummy. I feel like tonight and today, none of this food is gonna go to waste. It won't go to waste because I feel like everybody's gonna, even the Impossible cheeseburger pie is really that good. Sometimes you're like, yeah, this kid's gonna eat it. So delicious food trying. So, all right, so I'm gonna be finished for my day today because we have some plans this afternoon. So I'm gonna finish up by what I ate in a day, 1970s edition modernized food. It was pretty good day. I know my kids are eating it. They've already come and gone. Liked all the food. It's a winner day for my children. They definitely do better in the later eras versus, you know, the 40s and 50s and 60s. They're not into that. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Remember, you are designed, created, and selected by God to do great things in this earth. And once you figure out what those great things are, amazing, amazing adventure. So have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you guys again tomorrow with another video. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.